Okay, so good day sa ating lahat, and I would like to discuss to you regarding the topic or the basic topic about the fieldcraft physiology. But before we go on to the technical aspect of the fieldcraft physiology, allow me to present to you the basic terminologies or basic concept of the plant physiology as one of our discussions, or one of the part of our discussions wherein before we go on to the part that is the aspect na kung saan ay para mas maintindihan natin, uh, magdi-discuss muna tayo regarding doon sa basic concept of the fieldcraft physiology. So last time, na-discuss natin ang about sa fieldcraft physiology under the introduction that it is a branch of the agricultural science, and it is the unravels the physiology mechanism, wherein the plant physiology or craft physiology is studying about the phytochemistry, the environmental interaction, or how that plants affect the environmental interaction, what would be the come up of this plant so that it will generating what was the mechanisms of it. And also, in the plant physiology, they are studying, or the scope of plant physiology is about the cellular interaction, the molecular and cell biology, and the plant morphology. So whatever the morphological structure of our plants, it means that is the product of the physiological uh, activity na nangyayari mismo sa loob ng plants natin. So kung pangit ang morphological structure ng plants natin, it means there is imbalances doon sa cellulotic and biochemistry aspect of the plants inside the plants. Okay? Or it may affect by the environmental interactions. So the physiology is also the arms of the farmers and agronomists with the knowledge and tools essential for the optimizing the crop yield. So para mapataas yung ani or kaya yung yield ng mga farmers natin, or to come up with this aspect, kailangan ay mapag-aralan muna the need of the physiological of the plants, adapting to evolving the climate conditions, and upholding the global food security. So para mapataas natin yung ani, ano kaya yung mga gagawin natin, or ano kaya yung mga aspect or kaya mechanisms na gagawin natin so that ma-improve natin yung physiological characteristic ng plants natin. Kasi para ma-determine or kaya para ma-predict natin ang mataas na ani, kailangan nagsisimula ito doon sa aspect of physiology. It will start on the internal organ of the plants so that we will be giving a okay. So the fieldcraft physiology lies on the explorations of the fundamental biological processes such as the photosynthesis. So we will discuss about the photosynthetic activity of the plants, the respiration, the transpiration, the nutrient uptake, and the orchestrations of the plant growth via the hormonal regulations. So may di-discuss natin lahat ng mga ito, paano yung production or kaya paano yung conversion of the product to an enzymatic reaction or enzymatic consumptions of the plants through molecular and cellular interactions. So lahat ng mga ito ay i-discuss natin, isa-isahin natin upang sa ganon ay mas maintindihan natin ano yung concept of the physiology or the importance of the physiology in our economic sector. So one of the definitions that we are going to understand is about the photosynthesis. So kapag sinabi nating photosynthesis, this is the utilizing of the sunlight, the carbon dioxide and water that convert into an energy or a solar energy and into chemical energy. So to form a glucose and oxygen. So the photosynthesis will be absorbing or kaya the plants will be absorbing a sunlight and the carbon dioxide and also the water so that it will be converting into an energy. Wherein, after converting into energy, it will be synthesizing into a chemical reaction or a chemical energy to produce a glucose and oxygen as one of the requirement in the process of the plants so that magiging manormalize yung kanyang growth and development. Another one is the respiration. So respiration is the metabolic process where the stored energy that typically in the form of glucose. So it is converted into cellular energy. So respiration convert into a cellular energy inside the cell through the process of what we call on or the product that what we call on the ATP or the adenosine triphosphate. So the respiration is one of the storage energy of the plants wherein yung stored energy are located in the cell wherein once na nangyari yung conversion of the food or conversion of the or nangyari yung process of food doon sa cells, ang tawag doon is cellular energy. Ang product or ang tawag mo sa product na maire-release doon sa cells wherein meron siyang cellular energy is so-called the ATP. Okay? Or the adenosine triphosphate. Okay? Adenosine triphosphate. Pag-aaralan natin later on kung anong ibig sabihin ng ATP upang mas maintindihan natin. So, ulitin ko, the respiration is a metabolic process where stored energy. So, ito yung storage of energy wherein yung product niya ay ginagawa sa cells. Okay? Once na finish or kaya na-convert yung food or kaya na-process yung food doon sa loob mismo ng cells, they are so-called a cellular energy. Ang tawag mo doon sa product na yon or yung brand ng product na yon is the ATP or the adenosine triphosphate. Okay? Adenosine triphosphate through the consumption of the oxygen. Okay? So, because of the oxygen, makakaproduce ka ng ATP. So, saan nangyayari yon? Doon sa mismong cell of the plants wherein converted siya into a glucose. Another one is the ion absorption. So kapag sinabi nating ion absorption, this is the uptake of the essential mineral ions such as the nitrogen, the potassium, and the phosphorus. So these are the main element that needs by the plants wherein it absorbed by the roots from the soil. Okay? Another one is the translocation. Anong ibig sabihin ng translocation? So translocation is the transport of nutrients, water, and other essential substances within the plants. So meron tayong example ng translocation dito. Nagaganap ang translocation. Kapag sinabi nating translocation, ito yung merong transporting of nutrients. So sino ang may responsible doon sa pagtransport or kung saan yung highways. Okay? Highways of the plants. Meron tayong dalawang highways ng plants natin. Wherein doon nagkakaroon ng transpiration and translocations. So ang pinaka-highways ng plants natin or yung parts ng highways ng plants natin inside is the xylem and phloem. So kapag ikaw pupunta ka ng Manila, example sana, ikaw ay taga-province or probinsya. Ngayon ay pupunta ka ng Manila. So kapag pupunta ka ng Manila, So ang tawag doon kapag ikaw ay magta-transport ng product at magbibenta doon, ang tawag doon is the translocations. Okay? So, yun ay yung mga incoming wherein hindi pa sila nako-convert into metabolic process or hindi pa sila nako-convert. Nasa raw materials pa lang yon. So, it means dumadaan yun sa phloem. And then, pag babalik ka na or kaya pauwi ka na from Manila to province, ang tawag na doon is transpiration. Wherein, wala ka nang dala. Okay? So it means something na meron ka na lang na ilalabas or kaya may ipinasok ka and then meron kang ilalabas. So the xylem is the transpiration of the water. Okay? Transpiration of water. Kapag sinabi nating transpiration, it means ito yung exhaustion or kaya removal, nagta-transpire or kaya umaalis. That is transpiration. Nagaganap ang pag-alis or pag-exhaust ng mga metabolic or kaya ng mga particle doon sa mismong xylem. Okay? So, kapag transpiration, this is the loss of water vapor through the small opening called the stomata. So, ang xylem is connected siya sa stomata ng plants natin. Wherein, paglalabas ang tubig or kaya yung mga excess water, so it means ay ang pinaka-ways nila or kaya ang pinaka-door nila to exit is the stomata. Stomata is responsible for the entry and the exit of the product absorbing by the plants. So regulate the water uptake and transport while also cooling the plants. So it regulate the water uptake. So it means ang mismong xylem ang nagre-regulate doon sa pag-absorb ng tubig or pag-release ng tubig, I should say. And at the same time, doon sa pag-uptake, especially ang phloem. So it transport while also cooling the plants. Okay? Stomatal opening and closing. So this is the swollen or the guard cells and the shrunken guard cell. So kapag sinabi nating stomata opening, it means inaalaw ni plants na kung saan ay mag-release siya and mag-absorb siya ng mga molecular or kaya ng mga substance needed by the plants. Wherein this stomata is a microscopic pores. Kapag sinabi nating pores, ito yung mga butas na kung saan doon mismo pumapasok yung mga structure for the food consumption ng plants natin. So, it involved the regulations of these pores to control gas exchange, primarily the CO2 uptake and the O2 release. So, once na nag-open or nag-swollen ang stomata, it means nag-accept or kaya nag-re-release siya or siya yung pinaka-acceptor and release ng mga substances. So once na nagkaroon ng closing nung ating stomata in a normal conditions, it means ay puno na mismo or kaya enough na yung structure or mga substance na na-absorb niya during that day. Pero merong mga stomata during the imbalances of the temperature or imbalances conditions or imbalances of climate conditions na kung saan kapag ang plants natin ay stress, so siya din ang responsible or kaya ang stomata din ang responsible doon sa preservations ng mga moisture. Kasi ang pinaka-importante sa lahat doon sa plants natin or one of the important thing na pinapreserve ng plants natin upang malengthen yung lifespan niya, especially during stress, is the moisture. Paano niya ito ibabalance yung moisture sa loob ng katawan niya? Kasi kapag sobra-sobra yung moisture, it means there is something stress. Okay? There is a susceptibility ng plants natin. Especially kapag susceptible na yung plants natin, nagiging abnormal na yung operations and then hindi na siya makakapag-grow. And then we have also the assimilation. So kapag sinabi nating assimilation, ito yung combining, merging, or kaya paghalo-halo ng lahat ng mga substances to convert it into an enzymes. Enzyme is a food of plants wherein you are incorporating especially the carbon into organic compounds within the plants. And then, ang ina-assimilate natin is the carbon dioxide, okay, to form a glucose, okay, glucose. And then nitrogen compounds are incorporated into an amino acid and the protein. So the nitrogen absorbed by the plants are incorporating with the amino acid and the protein. So pag-aaralan natin kung anong ibig sabihin later on ng amino acid and the protein. Okay? Another one definition is the flowering. So flowering is the prerequisite before it produces a seed. Kailangan ay magkaroon muna ng blooming or maturations ng ating plants. Especially, na-determine mo na matured ng isang plants once na nag-start na siya for flowering. Another one is the germination. So germination is usually involve the reactivations of the embryo and the emergence of the embryonic shoots, the plumule and the radicle. Okay? So kapag sinabi nating seed germination, ito yung breaking of the seeds wherein merong imbibitions and activations of enzyme to emerge or kaya to activate the embryo to produce a new plant. Okay? Next, crop physiology. So kapag sinabi natin crop physiology, we are focusing on the understanding of the physiological processes and mechanism that governing the growth, development, and overall functioning of the crop plants in agricultural field. Okay? So kapag sinabi natin crop physiology, this is the study of the internal or physiological processes of the plants or kaya physiological or inside the plants. Okay? So, pag-aaralan natin yung loob ng plants upang sa ganon, makita natin ano kaya yung nangyayari sa loob ng plants, bakit kaya nag-grow or kaya bakit kaya nagde-develop ng leaves, ano kaya yung na-activate, bakit kaya siya lumalaki, ano kaya ang nangyayari sa loob ng plants. So, kapag tayo bilang isang scientist or agronomist, how that plants develop, if we are talking on the physiological processes, what are the chemical that are activate in the production of the leaves? What are the biochemicals that are produced during the elongations of the plants? So we need to understand all of these things so that ay makita natin paano kaya nagkakaroon ng yield ang isang plants? Paano siya nagkakaroon ng weight or biomass due to these processes? So, napakahalaga ang cell. Cell is the basic unit of life. And the cell in plants is the basic requirement to produce a plants. Okay? Kasi ang cells, nagsisimula yan sa seeds. Once na na-develop yung seeds at nag-grow at nag-germinate, it will multiply yung mismong cells na yon. Kaya nga, ang mga plants natin is a eukaryotic. Kapag sinabi nating eukaryotic, multiple cells. Right? So, multiple cells. So, meron tayong mga major field crops in the Philippines. Wherein, ito yung mga pwede nating i-example later on for our discussions. The rice, the corn, the soybean, sugarcane, abaca, cassava, peanut, mung bean, adlay, and sweet potato, and many more. Okay, these are some of the major field crops in the Philippines. So, last time, na-discuss din natin ang history of field crop physiology wherein noong 1915, si William Lawrence Bowles ang nag-study about sa cotton plants wherein siya din yung origin of the crop physiology. Okay, we're in na-understand or understand the dynamic of the yield development rather than the isolation of the plants. Si Nicolas Tudor de Saussure, dinemonstrate niya ang about sa absorption of carbon dioxide, kung paano yung gas exchange or kung paano yung paglabas at pagpasok ng carbon dioxide at nung mismong oxygen. And then, si Julius Sachs determined the essential mineral elements for the plants and made the only progress about the carbon assimilations. Okay? And then si Colin Malcolm naman believed that the character would be determined on the determined on the physiological uh, operations of the plants. Okay, and that would allow a crop to perform well in the dense communities when it be cultivated. Another one is si Stephen Halles. So, studied about the sap motion and circulations and also paano yung root actions or absorption ng mismong plants doon sa mga molecules. And then, dinefferentiate niya kung anong ibig sabihin ng bark, ng pit, and other layers doon sa trees. Another one I see Robert Hooke. So si Robert Hooke identified the structure in a sample of cork and then he coined the term cell. So si Robert Hooke ang nagpasimula or nag-coin doon sa term na cells. So the cells is a basic unit of life of the plants. Noong 1950, gumamit tayo or gumagamit na sila ng tinatawag na infrared gas analysis wherein ito yung isang sensor na kung saan dinedetermine niya kung ilan yung pumapasok at kung ilan yung lumalabas na photosynthesis doon sa isang plants natin. Kasi doon sa isang plants natin, sa pinaka-upper, ito sana yung plants, sa pinaka-upper, middle, and lower part ng plants natin, iba-iba yung measurement of the photosynthesis or iba-iba yung absorption of photosynthesis or amount of absorption ng photosynthesis. So, to determine yung the whole average absorption of the photosynthesis, we will use infrared gas analysis. Okay, that is one of the method or a tool for determining the amount of photosynthesis in the plants. Another one, si Monsi and Psyche was introduced the concept of light interception coefficient. So kapag sinabi nating light interception coefficients, ilan ba yung natatamaan or ilan yung photosynthesis na naa-absorb ng natatamaan ng araw kesa doon sa hindi. Example sana, nandun yung araw. So, ito mismo yung merong light. So, ilan yung amount dito ng photosynthetic rate and then ilan naman yung photosynthetic rate dito. Magkatulad ba sila or magkaiba? Okay? So, in-explain nila yan doon sa mismong position ng sunlight and at the same time, kinonsider nila yung mismong position ng trees or yung formation ng canopy ng ating mga trees. And then, noong 1963, made a significant finding about the photosynthetic rate in leaves in plants like the maize, the sugarcane, and tropical grasses. And then, the field crop is important para at least ma-overcome natin yung higher yield and para mapakain natin yung mga tao. And then, so very important ang crop physiology sa environmental issues, especially kapag climate change ang pinag-uusapan natin. Pag may drought, ano kaya yung mga enzymes na dapat nating i-produce or kaya ano kaya yung nangyayari doon sa plants natin upang ma-overcome yung drought or kaya yung flooding. So, napakahalaga na pag-aralan natin ang field crop physiology kasi nga once na na-stress ang plants natin, mag-iiba na rin yung kanyang mode of concentrations. So, kapag nag-iba na yung mode of concentrations ng crop natin, So it means merong something na imbalances sa loob ng plants. Kasi kapag nag-iba siya ng mode of concentration, especially kapag may sakit ang plants natin, syempre ang concentration niya, kung saan yung may sakit, yun muna yung ihihil niya before siya mag-focus doon sa growth and development. Gaya din yan sa tao, di ba? So sa tao, bago siya mag-work or kaya kapag may masakit sa kanya, hindi siya makapag-focus kung ano yung ginagawa niya. So it means, ang gagawin niya muna, i-heal niya muna kung ano yung masakit sa kanya before siya mag-proceed doon sa normal na ginagawa niya. Ganon din sa plants natin. Before it will grow in a normal condition, they must heal whatever the stress na na-experience niya. So, ang gagawin natin, paano magiging resistant yung plants natin? Paano magiging tolerance yung plants natin against that stress or stresses? Okay? Yun. And then, another supplemental importance, ang field crop physiology help the agronomists and farmers to understand how the crops grow and develop and responds to environmental factor. And then, tinutulungan niya din ang mga breeders to develop a new crop varieties with improved traits as a disease resistance, drought tolerance, and higher nutritional value. Kung ano yung pangangailangan ng plants natin, dapat mai-provide natin based doon sa pag-analyze or pag-determine sa characteristic physiologically nung mismong crop. And then, for more efficient use of the resources, we will need to understand the crop physiology. Kasi nga, dapat maintindihan natin ilan yung tubig na kailangan ng plants natin, ilan nutrients ang kailangan ng plants natin, okay? And then, paano nakakapag-survive ang plants natin kapag nag-apply tayo ng pesticide? Or paano nababago yung internal organ ng plants natin once na gumamit tayo ng pesticides? So lahat ng mga ito is very important. Wherein the physiological or it may start or it will be starting to a physiologic processes before ka mag-undergo on the morphologic conductance of the plants. Okay? So, yun. Ngayon, pupunta na tayo doon sa plant structure. So, dito tayo nagkaroon ng technicalities wherein ang diniscuss ko last time is yung mga broad that inassume ko na alam nyo na ang about sa technical of the plant physiology. But I found out na hindi pa pala. So, yung thinking ko kasi, meron na kayong plant physiology nung third year kayo kasi nga, may mga third year na kumuha ng plant physiology. Pero ang kumukuha lang pala ng plant physiology is the horticulture. Okay? So, plant structure. So, mauna tayo dito sa plant structure. So, yung isang plants ay meron siyang tatlong major na parts. We have the leaf structure, stem structure, and root structure. So, unahin natin ang plant structure. So, under the plant structure, we have the leaf structure. So, meron tayong mga parts wherein may tinatawag tayo ditong parenchyma. So, we all know that the parenchyma is, ito yung parenchyma, parenchyma, yan. So, the palisade parenchyma ground tissue, the bundle sheath parenchyma, lahat ng mga yan na parenchyma is a soft tissues. So, it means kapag sinabi nating soft tissues, it look like a anong tawag dito? A cells wherein kapag i-fill method mo siya is malambot. So, yun ay tinatawag nating mga soft tissues. So, very thin ang mga parenchyma natin. So very thin ang mga parenchyma natin, wherein it covers yung mismong the phloem and the xylem. So the parenchyma is protecting the xylem and phloem para at least hindi lumabas yung tubig. 'Di ba kapag nag-absorb siya ng nutrients or kaya nag-absorb ng tubig, okay? Yung tubig na available dito sa xylem and phloem, hindi siya